A wonderful day to you out there, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to another edition of StandPoint. Thank you for joining us. Today's show is going to be in two segments. In the first segment, the Nigerian House of Representatives has been in chaos. They seem not to have time for lawmaking, which is their primary responsibility for the Nigerian populace. And since the removal of Abdulmumin Jubril as the chairman committee on appropriation, based on an accusation against him of illegality of inserting project worth 4 billion naira in the budget for his constituency, hell has been let loose on the padding of the 2016 budget by members of the House of Representatives. You see, Jubril claimed that he's been victimized by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, talking about Yakub Dogara, because he objected to a request made by him to allocate projects worth 40 billion naira to him and 3 other principal officers in the 2016 budget. All eyes are definitely on the unlawful, in quote, lawmakers. We would like to get your reactions on these matters today, so you try and call in. And on the second segment, we will be scrutinizing the current crisis rocking the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, which is now taking its toll on the Lagos State chapter, as 2 factions are currently at war in a bid to control the party structure in the at the state level. One of the factions is led by Moshood Salvador, while the other has Segun Adewale as its leader. While Moshood Salvador is allegedly for the Ahmed Makarfi committee, Segun Adewale is allegedly solidly behind Ali Modu Sheriff's faction at the national level. It's a full dose, definitely. So stay tuned. We shall be right back after this break. No, sir. Welcome back. Just joining us today, I have Senator Anthony Adefuye. He was at the third assembly. Senate, yeah. Yes, thank you very much, Senator, for joining us today. Thank you. How did you take this, what is happening at the House of Representatives with a pinch of salt, where you heard allegations that Mr. Jubril wanted to pad the budget with 4 billion, and Jubril coming out to say, no, it was because I did not allow the Speaker and 4 others to put 40 billion into their own pockets, thereabout. That is why we have this hula baloo.
It's shocking. It's almost turning into a mock parliament. It's difficult to believe what is happening. Padding, padding, and so on and so forth. The business of the National Assembly is not to pad. You cannot add. You can tell a ministry to revisit or to revise, even if there's going to be an increase, it is the ministry who must resubmit. The National Assembly, of course, can remove. You cannot add. If you want to add, you have to tell the ministry to go and do it.
But they can remove?
They can remove. Okay. They can tell the ministry, no, this project we disagree for so reason, and so on and so forth. And the ministry will be told. So they will expect it, that this is going. If they now have a priority project, they also tell the ministry, this is a priority project, resubmit. And that ministry will resubmit. You don't begin to play with, it's like you have a treasurer in the house who keeps money, and then he begins to take the money and say, I take 40 billion.
At will.
At will. No, you cannot take it. Once you are in charge, you cannot take it at all. You are just in charge. You cannot take.
So what has happened now? What is happening now is a crime? Or what do you think, sir?
Well, I think...
If the allegations are true.
No, these allegations are too serious. Allegations coming against this assembly, they are beginning to get too serious. They went to America. It was allegations of one thing or the other, soliciting for sex and so on and so forth. Now, when the president said he was not going to sign the bill, it has been padded. My first reaction is that Which one is part again? In fact, it's new.
It's new.
But one will, after a while, I now said, you should expect it. It has been going on before.
So it's not apparently new.
Of course, it must not be new. Most of the people in that National Assembly, 40 or 45% of them have been there before. They are not new.
So they know the game.
It has been a game that has been going on before. And you can see there are some people in the National Assembly, as long as they remain there, this game will continue.
The padding game?
Yes, it will continue. People are staying there. If you want to stay in National Assembly, let us say you're a governor, you want to go and be a senator. Well, I mean, sometimes you ask yourself, what am I going to do? The work of a Senate is a very serious work. It's almost a 24-hour work. You know, what you see in the plenary is just the tip of the iceberg. Things will have been done, committee meetings you will have visited, you will have inspected. You know, it's like contractor, the government is like contractor to the National Assembly.
That should be the norm, really. Maybe when you were there.
Yes.
But do you think that's still the norm now?
I don't know. I think the whole thing is becoming a mock parliament. That's what I say. Because you don't believe some of the things they say. I was shocked when the accusations were when they were now accepting. Because if the chairman of the committee accepted that, yes, there was padding.
Yes.
That is enough.
The appropriation committee.
Yes, the appropriation committee, that is enough for an inquiry. That is enough for an inquiry. Now we have what they call ethics committee, which is supposed to be to look at it, you know, but of course it's the speaker now who is being accused.
Yes.
So if you are being accused and you want to set up a committee to look at it, you have to step down first. You have to step down
before you can be investigated.
Before you can be investigated. After being investigated, if you are cleared, then you go back to your seat.
Okay. The news that I got this morning was that Jibrin himself has gone to the DSS headquarters to request the arrest of the security agencies to request the arrest of the speaker. Because it said it shouldn't be there if allegations are made against the speaker, grievous allegations for that matter.
Well, there are two things I must point out. One, you should report him to the party first. Okay. To the party.
But the party should be aware of what is going on now.
Yes. You must make a formal report. Two, I don't know if the AFCC has power, even though there is no immunity for the speaker. But there is invisible immunity.
When you are there.
When you are there. There is invisible immunity. He is representing the people. That is the speaker and the Senate president. They are representing the people. We voted them, elected them, and then we also voted and elected the government. You look what they are doing, you do the work for us. That is purely what it is. Government of the people, by the people. That's all it means. That is no, it isn't more than that. So if you are now being accused by your own committee chairman who resigned gracefully, the first thing for you is to step down, ask the ethics committee to investigate the matter. And then the ethics committee will now recommend whether it should be an EFCC matter or whatever it is. It's embarrassing. It's
embarrassing, really. And you mentioned immunity, really. They don't have immunity. But do you support this fact that they were clamoring for immunity for principal officers of all the assemblies, talking about even the House of Assembly, the House of Representatives, and the Senate?
Then let's give armed robbers immunity too. Why not? Then let's give them immunity so that they can go on a spree and then take whatever they like. Well, I don't think the National Assembly need any humility. What they need is humility. Humility is what they need.
To do their job.
To do their job. Humility to begin to tell the people we are doing this work for you.
That's what they need.
That's what they need.
So if you think
if
you
you are a
have
speaker
immunity,
and the first time you get there, you buy 400 million car.
Yes.
You are intimidating the people. That is no more humility. There's no more humility.
So, and again, just imagine they have immunity. What worse could have happened? Because what is happening presently, what you hear at the assemblies nowadays are not what should be happening where you have honorables, distinguished honorables. But what they are doing sometimes are not honorable-like.
I don't agree with you. They are honorable because they are representing us. That's where the honor comes from. The senators are distinguished because they are overviewing things. Really, the job of the senator is to overview both the House of Reps and the government itself. So they call them distinguished or whatever it is. Now, for you to distinguish yourself, you don't distinguish yourself in padding. You don't honor yourself with padding. Sometimes you go about now and they say, Senator, everybody wants me, to bring out cash.
Because they thought you would have made so much money from there.
So instead of going about priding yourself that you're a senator, now you could easily want to hide yourself. Because everybody thinks that you should have this money flowing in your this thing.
But that means there's something wrong with our political system, because in some countries, even in UK and some other countries, you representing the people, you must be humble, number one. You must even know everybody by their names. You don't have to give because you don't have. They bring the people that really have what it takes to do the job. But nowadays, it seems we sell the vote. People sell their consciousness also. So that's why people cannot even shout when you have people stealing the money.
Number one, the problem is this. What they call constituency, this thing should be cancelled completely.
I was going there.
There is nothing, when we were there was nothing like constituency project. What is constituency project?
But people promise the people, when I get there as a senator, I will do this, I will do that.
Yes, do it through the Ministry of Works, which we have created. Do it through the Ministry of Agriculture, which we have created. Do it through the Ministry of Environment. There is no Ministry of National Assembly. They have no right. And they cannot execute. It can only be executed through the ministries. And they cannot pad without coalition with somebody in the ministry.
So that means...
So how can they take the money if somebody in the ministry is not in coalition with them? It's not possible. When you put it in the budget, you cannot just take the money. Somebody in the ministry must be working along with you to award you the contract, or to award somebody you brought the contract who will now feed you back. So this investigation should go further. It should not end at the National Assembly.
So Jibrin, to some people, is a hero for revealing this. Is he like an hero to you?
He is courageous. That's what I would say. He's courageous to have come out and open up this can. I think initially he just wanted to resign and then say, look, I'm not part of this, of what is happening. But he's now being accused.
Because he was removed, because he was accused of trying to put 4 billion naira into his own project.
Not many people can behave like Jesus now. Just take the cross. No, you now say, this cross you want to give me is too heavy for me. And your own is heavier than my own. So why are you persecuting me, and so on and so forth. Now, the investigation, the president himself should go into the ministries where there were padding.
And find out.
Who were involved.
Because there should be a collusion somewhere.
Of course, there must be a collusion. There's no way you can take the money.
And the big question...
And then when you have constituency project, where is the project? Then somebody will just come and buy 20 sewing machine, buy Okada, buy Marwa, does that amount to 1 billion or 4 billion?
But the people don't ask questions. That's the problem.
Well, I think we have to go to recall system now, where you recall
your
these
senators.
people who are there if they are not behaving well. You have to recall. Some of them are not even, since they were appointed, they have not come back to the constituency to say this is what we are doing.
Some have not even moved the motion.
No. No.
So, but as we round up on this, maybe the last question now, what do you think now? Because the president seemed to be zero tolerance for corruption, a very strict man. But how can he be successful when you have vultures around you?
I think I will not use the word vultures.
Okay.
I will not use the word vulture. I think we should make example out of all these issues. If we say we are fighting corruption, we should fight corruption. Nobody should be an exemption. I think they should face, let us investigate and find out. And also go back 4 years later, those before us, let's go back whether there was padding also. I believe this has been going on.
For a long time.
For a long time.
So we should just find out.
Yes. We must not even, now this one should just be an eye-opener. Let us now go back. You remember when the EFCC went to search the house of Senator Omishore, they found a lot of padding there too.
So it goes a long way.
Padding in stock.
Senator Anthony Adefeye, I wish we had more time to discuss this. Maybe some other time we'll come around to enlighten us on this, what is happening at the Senate. Thank you so much, Senator Adefeye. That's the first segment of the program. We'll be coming back again to introduce some other guests. Don't go anywhere, please. Thank you for staying tuned. Second segment, we'll be looking at the crisis in the PDP at the federal, even at the state level. But a little bit, we could talk about that pardon issue. To join us to discuss this issue, I have Jide Ladende, is the state secretary of the PDP and the former state youth leader. Thank you very much, Jide, for joining us. And on the other side, I have Malam Jaji, is an observer of the polity, is a member of the APC. Though we have to be there because you need a credible opposition. As a member of the APC, don't you think?
Yes.
Okay. Let me start with you, sir. Do you generally maybe a little bit about what Senator Adefeye said? What is your own take about this issue of pardon?
Well, personally, I don't want to believe. I don't want to use the word pardon because I don't believe money is going to the senators or House of Reps directly. I just believe that the essence of bringing the budget to the National Assembly is for them to look at it and look at where they can try as much as possible to influence some developments through the budget in their various constituencies. At the end of the day, it's still the ministries that will still execute the project. The way we are seeing it, we are seeing as if money is being allocated to individuals. What they have done is to use their position to attract certain development within the budgeted amount to their various constituencies.
But is it good, like Senator Jibrin, only him is taking, according, wanted to take 4 billion, whereby you have like Lagos and maybe Kano sharing almost the same amount?
Well, at the end of the day, I think there are people that sit with him to do it. How did they come about to have such a thing being done by the chairman of that committee? Which means he has taken advantage of his position. And don't forget, Jibrin and what's his name? Dogara. They are both APC. So it's more to it than what we're seeing. But people like to hear negative things, padding, as if people have put money there to go and collect it behind. No.
Okay,
all the man has done is just to try to use his position to corner a lot of.
You know what caught my attention? You know what caught my attention? What
yes,
he said.
Yeah.
Jibrin and even Dogara are APC.
Exactly.
Why is it that you have the members of your party? They are the ones partying.
Well, you see, we need to go back to the basics. And if you are discussing padding and you connect it with APC and what have you, we all know how APC came to be. And we all know that APC is an amalgam of about 4 parties. Very, very strong parties, CPC, ACN, and PDP, new PDP, who are mostly the people we are talking about. But one should not run away from the fact that they are members of the APC. But we know the roles they are even playing within the APC itself since the inauguration of this government.
Dogara has been APC all the way, right?
I'm telling you, it's NPDP.
Dogara.
But that is not the issue. The issue now is the people, like my friend just said, I can tell you is brazen stealing. Because my knowledge of it is, I have some friends in the National Assembly, even some senators. You put this thing in your in the budget for your constituency. Now they ask you to go and look for contractor that will execute it, and that is why we cannot divorce the people in the ministry from what is going on.
So you're concurring what the Senator Adefiyo said?
Yes,
okay.
You now go and look for a contractor whom we must have discussed some terms with. At times, some of these legislators, they are giving this thing, okay, this is the quantum of what is going to your constituency as constituency projects. What they do is they go outside the chambers. There are contractors there that will buy it at a discount rate of 35%. I want to be contradicted. The contractor will now give you 35% of the face value of the project we are talking about. And me, padding, no padding and whatever, what is the contribution of an average Nigerian? Our disposition towards our people representing us. The kind of expectation you have of them, are they justified? You know, you are in a position of elected position or appointed position and whatever, you must pay school fees of your constituents, some of your constituents. You must pay funeral, whatever. you buy this, you buy that, you buy that. And have we sat down? The nickname in our area is who you help. And I also retort, who you ask. Because it is the expectation. You pay for school fees, naming ceremony, and whatever. And the people that will collect it from you, they don't know, they don't want to know where you got it from.
Just bring the money.
Just bring it on. If you don't bring it, you are a very, very bad man. No matter your performance outside.
And they will ask you who you help.
Who you help.
At the end of the day.
So, and I also say who you ask. Well, I'm not a mind reader.
Well, Jaji, let's go to the main discussion of the day. The PDP, it seems all is not really well for the PDP at the national level. Or what do you think? Because now, as at now, if you ask a political student, who is the chairman of the PDP, the student will be confused. Because it seems that the chairman of the PDP changes by week. Do you understand me? I think this week now, as at today, maybe it's Sheriff.
Legally.
Legally. Yeah. What's your own take?
Well, it's so sad. It's so sad that the biggest party in Africa found herself in this kind of position. And personally, I think it's good for the party. You have to look back. This is the first time we are trying to have a convention, change of pattern, without a sitting president. So you should expect this. We've always been having it good. All these skirmishes have been happening, but where you have a president, people will have been settled. Don't worry, sit down, I'll do this for you, I'll do this. And they settle it, family affair. But presently, there is no president. then the governors are turning themselves to lords.
What do you mean?
Yes, since there is no president, the governors, they believe they are in charge of the party. They believe that whatever they say should be law, forgetting that the party has its own constitution, rules and regulations that guides the party. In fact, governors, senators, even presidents are product of the party. That is my own understanding. But a situation whereby at the end of the day, when you become governor or president, now you want to circumvent the constitution of the party, and so the problem PDP is really having has to do with there is no, for the first time there is no president, and we are trying to have a convention.
And
now,
what do you think the governors now are trying to squeeze in?
For me, it's beyond that. Let's limit this thing to the issue of Sheriff.
Okay.
How did he come about to be the chairman of the party? Who brought Sheriff to PDP? Some people must have brought Sheriff, to come and be the chairman. Sheriff did come to PDP around, I think, late 2014.
And I remember your daily fellowship canvassed for Sheriff also.
I'm not even going there. You know all these things, so I don't need to tell you. Some people brought Sheriff to PDP. And I can tell you, when this man came to the party, he brought life to the party. The man was moving from state to state. You saw life. You saw life at the national headquarters. Fortunately, unfortunately, the same people that brought him started having problems. Then you now look into it. What happened? You see, I believe they made a mistake. Sheriff is not a pushover. Maybe they thought they had somebody they could dictate to. That's their own problem that I don't know. It's not open to us. But legally, I was the former youth leader for 8 years, state youth leader. I was at the convention in 2014 when they brought in Muazu.
Yes.
In fact, we amended some part of the constitution at that point in time. They brought in Muazu. They brought in Ola Dikpo to replace Moyilola. Muazu came into, and they had 4 years to spend. When you look at it, they brought in Sheriff to complete the term of Muazu, which is 2018.
Yes.
Just like. Now, at the end of the day, they wanted to go for convention. Don't forget, before that Port Harcourt convention,
yes,
we had 2 courts from Lagos, federal high courts, saying that convention should not hold. Again, we had another judgment that said that some positions, they should not conduct any election into certain positions. The position of the chairman, the position of the secretary, and some other positions. I don't know how they managed to convince themselves, and Sheriff agreed, and they decided to go to Port Harcourt to hold a convention. On getting to Port Harcourt, I think the man now felt something is happening, and he decided to call off the convention.
Which had the right.
He had the right. According to the constitution, it's the NWC that calls for the convention, and they go to NEC for ratification, which they did. There was where they agreed on the dates, venue, and what have you. The NWC, they will do it. The NEC will now approve it. That was how we got to the issue of Port Harcourt. On getting to Port Harcourt, he now said, look, there are judgments facing me. I don't have immunity, that we should not do this, we should not do that. And in the man's wisdom, he postponed the convention. It was live, it was covered.
Okay.
Now, Secondus and some of our leaders, the governors, even when the chairman that had the power to call for convention with ratification from NEC had postponed it, they went ahead. We were the delegates to now set up a caretaker committee for 3 months. Of course, you don't expect Sheriff to sit down. That was the beginning of the legal battle. The man is claiming that, look, I have this judgment that I should not hold this particular convention. I have this judgment that says that I should not hold election into certain positions. Why are they not respecting the rule of law? Now, the same court, if you look at Justice Abang's judgment, it's not as if what he's trying to say is that even before Port Harcourt, there was a judgment from the same court, same status, federal high court. So how come you people did not listen to the one from Lagos? Now you want them to listen to the one from
Port Harcourt.
But now they are saying Abang is sitting on appeal. They should wait for appeal. But common sense, I'm not common sense will tell you that if, you see, we just, whatever is going to cause the party, personally, I believe we have to go through the legal fireworks.
Which is what Sheriff is doing.
Yes. Is it not better than fighting? Is it not better than carrying talks? Why don't you make use of the legal
I had to let you go on for a long time like that to get a preamble, a better understanding of what is happening. Yes. But what do you think, Madam Jaji? What is happening in the PDP? They said it's the allegations that Sheriff is being sponsored by the APC, and there are Sheriff's allegations that Makarfi himself is being sponsored by the APC. In short, the APC wants to kill PDP because they are not ready for a viable opposition.
Well, I don't know. But as I'm sitting down this afternoon here, I'm not speaking on behalf of the APC.
Okay.
I'm speaking as Malam Jaji, a political analyst who is an unapologetic member of the APC.
Okay.
So from that standpoint, I can categorically tell you that I know much about the PDP because I was once there. I was once a member of the media committee of the PDP when Obani Koro was vying against BRF.
BRF, yeah.
So I know much about the PDP. And moreover, I happen to be a foundation member too of the PDP before Chief Obasanjo came in. You know, the ideals of those who formed the PDP, the G34, was fantastic. The likes of the late Awoniyi and Jerry Ghana and the rest, they knew where they wanted to take Nigeria to. But the moment Chief Obasanjo got in, he became the president, you know, he made the party in his own image. And that was the beginning of impunity in PDP, that it is the law of Hammurabi, is the might, you know, that holds sway, not reason. And that had been the case till the NPDP. It was this culture of impunity that made some of them to walk out from, what do you call it, Eagle Square Convention to hold their own somewhere, and we were waiting for them. Because you see, you form a political party not to stagnate. You form a political party to expand. It is after you must have achieved your aims, you now sit down to say, this one fits into what we want, this one does not fit into it.
But the crisis on ground now, what do you think is happening? Is it going to make PDP stronger? Or do you think they will resolve this?
Like I don't pray they resolve it. Like I told you, I'm an unapologetic member of the APC.
But you need a viable opposition. So
you need a viable opposition. You don't build it. You don't build opposition. Opposition will build itself. When we were in opposition, we knew what we did. We knew what we went through. And a part of, you know, amalgamation of NPDP, AMPP, ACN, and whatever brought APC. If the opposition too can do the same thing, nobody.
Nice. Okay.
But me, like I say, we will say it every day. That
is to say.
They should never find it easy.
Okay, thank you so much, Malam Jaji. We need to go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll introduce our guest. Don't go anywhere, please. Welcome back. Just joining us on this set is Segun Adewale. He's a chieftain of the PDP, but he will tell us now, presently, what is your position in the PDP in Lagos?
Yeah, actually, currently, I'm the chairman. I'm representing PDP in Lagos right now. There's no gainsay about that at all. So there's no need, arguing with anybody. I was confirmed. My election was confirmed, ratified by Modu Sheriff himself. He even gave us a letter to confirm that. So the reason why we are not really, making noise, or the way the other camps are doing, is that because we believe that, truly, I'm the chairman, and the escorts that you saw with us the last time in my office at the Authentic School. And we are not really desperate to run the affairs of the party. We are not at all. We are called to come and serve. Simple.
We're called to come and serve by?
By the people, by the PDP members in Lagos. That's what happened. Initially, I mean, you'll be shocked that I was even supporting another candidate. But when the election took place, I was, nominated. Simple.
So where does Salvador come in?
Salvador.
Salvador.
Yeah, Salvador actually is representing, Bode George. Simple as that.
And who is Bode George now in the politics of this PDP?
No.
Where does he stand?
Bode George actually is our leader.
Okay.
So, but what we are saying is just that, he's our leader. He has been leading us for the past 16 years, plus 4, it's going to be 20 years now, and we'll be failing. So what we're just saying is just that there has to be a paradigm shift such that its generation should allow us. That's what I'm saying. The bane of our underdevelopment in Nigeria has to do with that set, that 1966 set.
So you have a problem with that set?
That's a bane. That's the reason why we are where we are now. How can some set of people be in the corridor of power for the past 50 years? I was born in 1966. You know what I'm saying? During the Biafran War. You know what I'm saying? I was in the primary school, 1972. 1979, I read about these same people when I was in primary school. When I was in primary school, that's where they are teaching us state and capital.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Bode George, Ondo, or like that. But these guys are still there up to now. Even when I was in primary school, that's where they are teaching us state and capital.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Bode George, Ondo, or like that. But these guys are still there up to now. Even when I was in UI, I studied geography in UI. I remember when they were teaching us regional geography with emphasis on Nigeria. Bode George name came out again that time when I was in UI. That was 1986.
And you have a problem with that?
Because the point is just that in life, there has to be a paradigm shift at some point, where some people have to exist the same. But these guys refuse. That's the reason why we are where we are today.
But he's exiting. Maybe he's exiting. That's why he's bringing forth. He wants to go for the PDP chairmanship at the national level. Maybe that's why he's...
I will even defeat him.
At the national level?
At the national level. If there's nobody that wants to contest with that position, I'm just saying, if Sheriff was not there right now, I will contest against Bode George. Because he can't even win his polling booth to start with.
You think so?
Someone that should represent us at the national must be able to deliver his polling booth, 1, his ward, 2, his local government. 3. He has not done any of this. Then 2, there's a conflict of interest. His wife currently now serves in this government as a director in NDLEA. So what are we talking about? Sometimes when somebody is getting old, he will start having some, maybe some challenges in his brain. Maybe that's the reason why we are where we are today. Because I personally will not challenge someone that is older than my father. But the point is just that if he refuses to retire, I have no choice but to retire compulsorily.
But compulsorily, I hope, because there were allegations, I was reading that this morning, that when you had, there was this meeting in Lagos, and the name that came up was your name, that you came forth, and some people came forth with thugs to come and disrupt this meeting. Is it true?
No. You see, in Lagos, right, apart from even my PDP, even in APC, when people check me out and they saw that, oh, okay, this guy it's confirmed that he's good. I finished from UI. I did my master's degree here in LASU. They have gone around and checked me out. There's nothing anybody can talk about that maybe it's my secret or what I've done that is wrong, or maybe I've been in Kirikiri, like one of our leaders. But the issue is that they have to label me with something that is negative. That's why people keep on saying talk. I mean, what is the talk?
But you're not like that.
I will allow the secretary of the party, maybe to respond in that.
But that's after I take your namesake, Shegun. Another Shegun is on the line. He's calling from Lagos. Good afternoon, Shegun.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Shegun. I'm okay.
Good afternoon.
First of all, I'm interested in this PDP issue. I'm an APC member.
Okay.
I'm also unapological, like the judge that is not no apology to anybody. Mm-hmm. They're an APC member. I'm an APC member, and I'm very interested. The secretary just told us now that in the wisdom of Sheriff, he postponed the what do you call it? The
National Convention.
The convention. Yes. Legally speaking, does he have the right to solely postpone the National Convention?
Convention.
Yes. Does he, legally speaking, does he have the right?
Okay.
And even morally speaking, does he have the right to solely postpone the National Convention?
Okay, so we'll leave it for Jide to answer that. Thank you so much. And after doing that, you have to confirm what Segun Adewale said.
Yes, thank you very much. I think the last speaker was not really listening to me. I said even before the convention, there were two court judgments stopping PDP from, first and foremost, holding the convention, secondly, holding conventions into certain positions. One, I know, chairman, secretary, and some others. Even with that alone, legally, with court judgments saying that, I think the party should have waited and probably go to court to go and appeal against that particular. But instead of that, they went against the judgment and went ahead, just like they are saying now, that irrespective of the judgment, they are going to conduct the election, forgetting that Nigeria, there are rules and regulations. Gone are the days that we have the president, they do what they like, and Nigeria is bigger than PDP. And the legal system is for everybody, it's not for a particular party. Do you understand? So, aside the issue of whether he has a right to postpone, it does not come at all.
Yes.
There are particulars that are bigger than Sheriff and the party, stopping them from holding the convention. So
that's simple.
That's simple.
Okay.
Even where you want to consult, assuming those things are not there, and he saw any reason for postponing the convention, he will call his NWC and they seek the advice of the NEC. They can do that. That will take them. We have waited for about 12 hours. I think in 2012 or so, trying to do some consultations when they have issues of zoning. They will have sat down together and probably agreed on what to do, and the thing will have taken place maybe overnight or the next day. Do you understand? He doesn't have all the whole time to start consulting.
Let me quickly take Mahmoud from Ikoyi. Good afternoon, Mahmoud.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, thanks for all of you there, including the moderator and Mr. Jaji and the rest of the members of the panel. You see, the PDP, what they have done for the past 6 years, they can never come to power again. They should just forget about Nigeria. All these ones, other Makarfi or other this, all that one is.
Did we lose that? Okay, Mahmoud, that's simple. You said you will not come to power. Maybe I defend this federal, but you're thinking of Lagos for now.
Even the federal, let's go into that. That's his own personal opinion, which is entitled to.
Entitled to.
Yes. Okay. Nobody will have thought APC will have won at the center.
Okay, wonderful. Oh yeah, let's talk about these the allegations of violence and everything.
And
thuggery.
Like he has said, we're young people, and nothing good can come from Jerusalem when it comes to this older generation. What actually happened was this. We left the secretariat for them. Like I said, that was part of the last ESCO. I was the youth leader. And I was there about a year ago, to talk about when we had the crisis, when 36 people out of 49 signed that they don't want the state chairman anymore. 36.
And who was that?
Captain Modu Sheriff.
Okay.
We said, for so reason, we don't want him to be the chairman. Yes, they said we don't have a right to impeach him, but it was very expedient at that time to suspend him and wait for the party, the National Working Committee, to ratify what we have done. But they were dilly-dallying. That was how we entered this convention. So we went to the convention with the people. Let's not leave that. On violence, we've left them there at the secretariat, hoping that maybe God coming to our leaders, they'll be able to sort it, maybe legally, because we know once there's no peace at the top, there's no way you can have peace in Lagos. So we were expecting, but in their own wisdom, they were using the secretariat, throwing tantrums, doing all sorts of things. And supporters, they felt that because we're not there, that something is wrong. And I've been telling them nothing is wrong. You can see the whole place right from Abuja. Let's cool down. They will sort themselves.
Yes.
But, you know, along the line, okay, let's go to the party secretariat so that you know that the party secretariat belongs to everybody. It doesn't belong to, do you understand? On getting to the secretariat, we drove in the same vehicle. On getting to the secretariat, one of our supporters have been injured, about 2-3 of them.
By who?
Macheted.
By one Taiwo Kuye that belongs to the faction of Salvador.
Okay.
Yes. You know, because he prevented them from coming inside. There were policemen, over 40. And there were NSCDC people. They were there. The SSS, they were there. Do you understand?
And they saw all this happen.
They saw it with 2 people to hospital. Of course, when we saw it, of course, people were looking for shelling. The guys that did it, they took the fence, they went up. And what we did, I'm telling you, by 9:15, we called off the meeting.
Yes.
We told them that, look, let us go.
To avoid violence.
Yes.
I'm telling you, that was what happened.
So you guys prevented, you were not?
We cancelled our own meeting. They had their own meeting for 10 too. They have slated down for 10. We now told our people, okay, we have cancelled our own meeting, let us go. And we left that place precisely 9:30.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Time is so short now, Malam Jaji. With what is going on in Lagos, do you think, what do you think? What's your own take? Briefly.
You see, it's very, very crystal clear. You don't expect me to wish them well. It's true.
Just like I wish you well.
But you see, our own government is performing so wonderfully well in Lagos that no matter what the PDP as a party would do, they will just be struggling. They cannot catch up with it. So, but to that extent, we all know ourselves. You know, we are all friends, but ideologically at variance.
Yes.
But that does not mean that we should wish our opposition to be, you know, comatose. But we know that they will struggle as they've been struggling since 1999.
Wow.
They were in power for 16 years.
In Lagos.
Okay.
In Lagos.
No, we're not moving out because of the judge.
In Lagos.
So,
you know, with Bode George, I was a victim of Bode George. In fact, you know, because of him, I had to leave. I told Musilu Obanikoro.
He didn't like his own
that so long as you are with this man,
you can't win anything.
No, but you cannot. You just be hitting your head against the wall. You could not win his polling booth, like Segun said. He could not win the ward. Yes. He could not win the state. So why is it that let's keep him there so that we will be benefiting? That's my last statement.
Thank you. So what is your parting shot now to the people, really?
Actually, what we're trying to do now is our emphasis just that there must be peace, you know, from the national, you know, so that the peace we, you know, translates to all the states. That's the only reason why we can win any election. You know, without them settling their challenges in Abuja, there's nothing we can do here in Lagos.
So you have your white handkerchief out now. Peace.
Nobody is fighting anybody. That's the point. But what we're just saying is that we just want the general that led us to war 4 times, you know, and failed. Normally, if the general, you know, were to be in China by now, he should be facing a firing squad. But the same general is now looking for promotion. Someone that failed in Lagos is not trying to go to national. That's my parting shot.
Saying that General Sawali is better than General Kusogu.
Let him just Kusogu straight.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Segun Adewale, the chairman of PDP, right?
In Lagos.
In Lagos.
Of course, PDP.
Okay, thank you so much. And Malam Jaji, thank you. I met Jaji. Thank you so much. Unapologetically. APC. Unabashedly. Thank you so much. And also Jide Ladeyinde, as State Secretary PDP and former State Youth Leader. Thank you so much for honoring an invitation. And we send this invitation because we tried to reach the Bode George group and even the Salvador group. We send this invitation again. Try and reach us. Next week, you might be on the program. We are it's an open house. Thank you so much for those that have called also. Thank you all for being part of the show today. So we appreciate you all. And for those that have called, I said it again, thank you. And those that were unable to get through, we appreciate you all. Let's do it again next week. Until then, God bless Nigeria.